Great night, great environment. Really proud of our fan base that came out to support us. These young men have worked so hard this offseason, embraced everything that we've implemented as a culture, competing at everything, culture built on effort, all the things that we preach, and it was good to see them rewarded with an unbelievable attendance. I think the lower bowl was almost completely full, and I don't know how many it holds, but that's pretty exciting. And those young men that are in that locker room deserve it. And great environment. A little homage to the past on the first play. Line up in double slot, shift to empty, shift to shotgun, throw to a tight end. So I think the president of the university was excited about that. And, I think it was our stat guru, Mike Flynn, it was the first catch by Georgia Tech tight end since Colin Peak had a 4-yard catch versus Georgia in 2007. So he dug deep on those stats. So, and that makes me feel special too, because I have a really close relationship with Colin Peak, and so that statistic means a lot to me. But just proud of the way the guys played, proud of the way they competed. Love the way they've attacked this off season. Embraced everything that we do, and I thought they went out there tonight and had a lot of fun, and celebrating with each other, having fun playing in that environment. It was awesome for me to see all the old faces come back. Megatron was out there. We had a play set up. There was a double pass flip to Joe Hamilton, who finished second in the Heisman Trophy, to get a touchdown pass to Calvin Johnson, who was the second pick in the draft. But I guess the defensive players really weren't feeling my trickery, and they ended up sacking Joe Hamilton, which was not something that happened a lot when Joe played here. But fun night, and just really proud of the guys. I don't know if y'all noticed the back of their game day T-shirts, had compete on the back of it, because competition is king, and there is a winner-loser tonight. I think the visiting sideline won, that was coached by the CEO of Waffle House, and the losing team will be here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and they will proceed to clean up Bobby Dodd Stadium. So, everything matters around this program, and, so we'll have fun with it. I'll be out there and help the guys, but, really proud of them. And so I'll shut up and stop talking and let y'all ask questions.
Okay, if you could raise your hand, get a microphone for the questions. So we'll start right here.
Coach, it seemed like you actually came, despite the way you guys rep so much more and stuff, you came out pretty unscathed in terms of injuries, just
Sure.
minor stuff. Was that kind of a surprise to you, like how that unfolded this spring?
Yeah, I was proud of the guys. They went out and played hard, but, the thing that we always talk about is protect the institute, protect each other. We're going to play hard. We're going to be very competitive. But at the end of the day, we love each other. We care for each other. Excuse me. So we want to take care of each other and protect each other when we're out there playing. And I thought they did a really nice job with that the entire spring, and especially tonight. So that was good.
Coach Anthony with the Atlanta Boys. Can you talk about, you talked about the competition in your opening statement. Can you just talk about the quarterback play of Lucas Johnson and Liam Byrne? And of course, the players seem pretty loose out there. Can you just talk about the quarterbacks and them just feeling comfortable?
Right. So the big thing for me, everything that we do in our program is we want to attack success. I don't want there to be any fear in this program. So, when they make a mistake, they know we care about them, we love them, we're going to coach them through the mistake. But we want them to take chances and go out there to make plays. And with that, I want them to have fun. We made a big deal there. Tonight's a spring game. There were 0 excessive celebration penalties on purpose, because I want them to enjoy the moment. Obviously when we're in big-time ACC games, we're going to be composed, but just the having fun element. I wanted our fan base to feel the energy, the excitement that these young men do every single day. They're out there competing, we're having fun, but I think you could see that tonight, and how close this team has become, how close to the coaching staff they are, offensively, defensively. It doesn't matter the side of the ball. It doesn't matter the position. There are real relationships that exist in that locker room, between our coaches, between our players, and I think that's a rare commodity, especially in a short amount of time. And so my hat goes off, to our assistant coaches and all the work that they do on everybody in the organization does such a great job bonding with these young men, putting their best interest at heart, and showing that every single day. So it means a lot to me. So with that, you can see that in action in Bobby Dodd Stadium.
Tonight was a chance for everyone to see the quarterbacks and the wide receivers in a whole new light. What were
Sure.
some things that you saw out of your quarterbacks and receivers tonight that you liked?
Yeah, so I mean, the big thing is, seeing the coverages and, making some good throws. But my favorite thing about this receiving core and our quarterback receiver relationship is our quarterbacks have faith. We play tight coverage across the board. I mean, every single coverage, every single throw we contest. But the 50-50 balls, our quarterbacks have faith in delivering it to our receivers. And you've seen it day in and day out throughout the spring, our receivers going up and making those plays. And then you see it again tonight. It's, to be honest with you, it's kind of a blur, who's making the plays when I'm trying to manage the whole, both sides of the ball during the spring game. But just the making plays on the contested throws has been a big revelation, something I've been really proud of.
Sticking with the wide receivers, I know you said you don't really know tonight because it's kind of all a blur, but this spring specifically, guys like Sanders or Malachi, any of the other wide receivers, who's really kind of impressed you, and how have they kind of impressed you?
So obviously it starts, with the older guy, Jalen Camp. I think every single day, and when the media comes out to practice, I think each day there's been at least one catch just in the media portion that Jalen has made a big time play, and that is across the board, day in and day out. Malachi Carter's done that as well. Adonica Sanders, Josh Blancato has done a really good job. He's been a revelation this spring. But everything we do, so Ryan Horton is our director of applied sciences. Every single day, we have a metric, and we use the catapult, and we do everything based on effort. And there's a core group of receivers that are in the top 14 of the guys on the team on just effort. And just proud of those guys. Not only are they going out and making plays, they're doing it the right way by playing hard, playing with great effort, and attacking every single thing that they do. So, and just really proud of Kerry Dixon, our receivers coach, putting them in position, teaching them a new scheme, understanding releases, understanding coverages, and implementing the package to be able to execute at a high level.
In terms of the scheme tonight, Coach Thacker said that it was going to be very vanilla on defense.
Yes.
And it seemed like Coach Padno just threw the book
Sure,
out.
sure.
So I guess is that kind of an intentional thing? You want to hold back your defensive stuff and then
Sure,
let people see things on offense that they have to prepare for.
Right,
right away?
and let's be honest, people want to come to a spring game and they want to see some points. They want to see the ball being moved, and obviously for a defensive guy all my career, that's a tough pill to swallow at times. But I'm the head coach, so we're going to have a little fun. We're going to spread it out. We're going to limit what the defense does. But I was really proud of the guys. There was one turn of events late in the second quarter. The Gold team had gotten up, I think, by 2.5 scores, and I saw a little bit of look on the defense that they were on the white defense that they were starting to fracture a little bit. So I don't know if anybody noticed, but I called David Curry and I called Wanye Thomas out to the logo and just talked them through. All that matters is the next play. All that matters is the next series. And so they regrouped, went back, got to stop. They were coming out, got to stop, went and scored. Then they got the ball come out at halftime, and in a matter of 2 series, brought the game back to where it's where it should be. So just that was a very teachable moment for our guys. Every play matters, the next play matters, and just keep playing and staying together. And I thought that was a good teachable moment, for the guys. We know you're not getting to run a lot of stuff defensively, but it doesn't matter. Play with good fundamentals, play with good leverage, run to the ball and tackle. And I thought for the most part they did that tonight.
We've got our student athletes rolling in, so a couple more questions for Coach.
Continuing kind of on that same theme around the what you guys called on defense and offense. Can you comment on how far you got into installation of the offense and defense relative to where
Sure.
you want to be?
We threw a ton at them, and obviously I see Lucas and James back there. We threw a ton at them, both offensively and defensively. We installed almost everything. Sarah's calling. Threw a ton at them. There's some periods we'll go to a team blitz period, and there'll be a 24-play rack of plays, and James and Lucas won't see the same blitz twice in a 24-play rack. So the big thing we've tried to do is expose them to all of the schemes that we have over 15 practices, then figure out what they do well and what they, were built to do based on personnel. And now we'll refine it after we watch the cut-ups and do all the self-scout from the spring. And so that'll be our task, all the quality control, all the GAs, all the analysts, for the next 4 weeks while our full-time coaches are out on the road recruiting. They will dive into all of that data. Here's what we do well. Here's the things that Lucas excels at. Here's the packages that he does well analytically. Here's what James does really well, Tobias, etc. So we can put the best package together so that we can have success with our players.
Coach, in terms of your offensive line or lines, to this point in the spring, where have you seen them progress or grow the most? And then in regards to tonight's spring game, do you think they performed at, where you expected them to be at, at this current time?
Well, I think it starts with Coach Key. We've arguably got the best offensive line coach in college football, who's returned home to coach here at Georgia Tech. And he's done a masterful job, taking a group of men for 11 years have had most of their weight on their front hand to now transitioning to most of the time 60% of their weight is on their instep, and a whole new scheme versus a defense. Coach Thacker's defense is really multiple, a lot of fronts, a lot of blitzes, a lot of coverage, a lot of movement, and brought that group together, moved guys around across the line. So there's a day Kenny Cooper will play guard, the next day he's playing center, the next day he's playing tackle, and guys moving around. And position flexibility, you guys have heard, is a huge deal for this program. And even so across the offensive line, we'll mix and match that, all the way across the board. In a perfect world, we would go into the season with 10 guys above the line that are ready to play and roll in. And so we'll do those evaluations over the next couple of weeks to see where we are, going forward into the season in the camp.
Coach, if you look at the spring collectively as a whole for your first spring, how would you grade it?
I don't know if I can give it a grade. All I can say is that, I've truly grown to love and respect, the guys on this team. I mean, they are amazing young men. Just the transition is never easy, but the way they've embraced everything and just getting to know them. And we go through some challenging workouts. We go through. You guys have come out to practice. There's a lot of things going on at practice. They embrace the challenges. They attack it. They try to get better every single day. And I'm just really proud of them, who they are as men, who they are as teammates, the guys that are stepping up to become really good leaders in our culture. And, I can't say enough about the players that we have and how lucky I am to coach them. And you're going to get to talk to a couple of them that I think are just amazing.
Last one right here.
Coach, we didn't get to see your stud tight end tonight, and just curious if he's okay. And then
Yeah.
also, in terms of the above the line thing, is there a target goal, like kind of for where you'd like to be at a spring, like number wise? Is it 40? Is it 45? Is it 25?
No, it's relative to positions. It depends on the position group. But I told, and I don't mind saying this publicly, we had a team meeting either Tuesday or Thursday where I talked about our safety position. There's two safeties that play for us, down in and down out. I think we have 5 safeties that right now we could go into a game and they're above the line. And that's huge for us. If we could have that kind of depth across the board at all the positions where guys are just rolling in and playing at a high level, that is the optimal goal for us. And we're just going to continue to work on that. And, you guys will get to know me and how we do things. But every single week, that metric is fluctuating. And some weeks, there's a bunch of guys that are performing above the line. Some weeks, guys will elevate themselves. There's other weeks, guys might take a step back and not play as much based on their performance in practice. Because the thing that we talk about, practice is everything. How you practice is how you're going to perform. How you study the game plan is how you're going to perform. And so we evaluate that constantly throughout the season. And we're a developmental program, so throughout the course of the year, we want a bunch of guys to develop. We had 28 guys last year play at least or average at least 10 snaps a game defensively. So we had a bunch of guys that just kept developing and playing at a high level. We want to do that across the board with every young man that's in our organization. So, thank you guys.